Okay, so let's just focus on this fragment here. So we said, okay, fine, there's like 1 4 uh, thing here that specifies a range. But if you wanted to specify a full range, well, of course, there is. Let me actually be pretty clear. Right here, again, instead of these horrible hard codings, let's just go to more kind of sane code. First of all, integer from equals 1, right? Integer 2 equals 4. Then integer value equals 100, right? And so then this should be a from, this should be a to, and this should be a value. Okay. So we said that another form of fill is simply this. Fill the entire array with a particular value, right? So this fill entire array. And this will be a form that says fill range. Okay. By the way, just a side note, that this idea of half-open range, manipulating collections of something, using generic algorithms such as fill, will be exactly the same. The look and feel will be exactly the same in Visual Basic or C# or C++. No one will be reinventing the wheel from scratch. It's the same approach. So what we learned here is pretty much pretty consistent across other programming languages. This idea of half-open range, ideas of fill and sort, and other generic algorithms that can be applied to our collections of data. Yes, question?
If the array is defined as, let's say, having 100 elements,
Right here, yes.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that you only specify, if you're going to specify to the 2, would you specify into 101 if you were going to use that version?
That's exactly what I was going to demonstrate. What should we be using as from and to in case if we want to specify the entire collection? Is that the question?
That's it.
Yeah. From clearly will be 0 because the first element is always 0. Now the 2 most likely is going to be quantities. Length. That's most likely the way to approach it, to specify the entire range. Because remember, the length of an array, let's actually reduce this to like 3 elements. So we have an array of 3 integers. And we go back here to our drawing and do it one more time. Let's just clear this up and picture this array. So we have 3, like 1, 2, and 3 integers in our array. That's what this array is, 3 integers, right? And so index 0 is here, and we say from index 0, right? Because we said from 0 to array length. Now array length is 3, but indices are 0, 1, 2, and 3 indicates a non-existing imaginary element which doesn't really exist, right? So it's an imaginary place, but it's okay to use it as the indicator of where the range stops, because it's half-open range. It's only used this index 3, which of course will be returned by quantity's length, right? Quantity's length is 3. 1, 2, 3 elements. So if used as index, or a specification of a range boundary, then it's okay to use it like this as a stop sign, right? Because it never is going to be used or processed or try to be accessed. It only used as an indicator where the stop position for this range should be. So that that is quite this is uh, this is standard practice. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. But what confuses me then
Mm-hmm.
is that if you return quantities length in order to find the end of the range,
Mm-hmm.
if you really want to specify the end of the range, you're then going to have to specify quantities length minus 1. If I want to access 0, 1, 2,
Let me try. Let me
do you
try
follow what
to.
I'm saying?
Yes, yes, but remember that when so all that we deal with, all the entire range is 0, 1, 2, and 3. But basically this is included, but this one is excluded.
Right.
And therefore, the actual range is this that is going to be processed
But what I'm
by
saying,
fill.
I'm talking about now if I'm trying to access something other than fill. Uh, Maybe I just want to go to the last entry in the array.
Of course, then you can do this if you want to access the last entry in the array. Then most likely you can very safely write something like this. Uh,
Minus 1.
Absolutely, absolutely,
That's what I
and
did.
store some value in there.
Right. So
Sure.
that's what I, that's, so in
Okay.
other words, to actually use quantities length to specify the last element in the array,
You
have
would
to
say
subtract-
-1.
You have to subtract 1.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. And that's also very, very standard practice to do something like this, to generically say, well, give me any array, I will tell you right away where the last element is. That's
Not-
what it is.
Not to argue the point, because I'm not
Mhm.
arguing the point.
Mhm.
Not in a computer class, but in the languages I've been familiar with in the past, you just specify the last